Hello, welcome back to my kitchen. It's been so hot, I haven't been doing very much cooking. Just maybe a little heating up of things and a little bit of outside cooking on the grill, on the porch. But somehow or other, we lucked out today and it's already cooling off enough that I could turn off all the fans. Listen to this. Nice, huh? So, since it's nice and quiet, I thought I'd set up quickly and just show you the first part of what I'm doing for dinner. Not much in the way of a cooking video per se, but I wanted to share how I make my very favorite ranch dressing. It's a vegan recipe. It's so good. It goes with everything. And it's not the lightest of dressings. I do like to keep it a little light, and I use coconut aminos and balsamic vinegar and a little apple cider vinegar and a little olive oil. Seasonings usually keep it light, but since I've been making this ranch dressing, I have to always have some in the house, so I usually make a lot at a time. I'm going to use about half of this jar of veganese. You can use any kind of mayonnaise or substitute as you wish, and I find this is really good. And I have a couple of empty jars always. I use these for all kinds of stuff because I like to make big batches of things when I do cook for myself, and that way I can have leftovers and I can just put it all in jars and keep a lot of more room in my refrigerator. So the main thing is the mayonnaise, and we're also going to add to that a little apple cider vinegar. Not too much, just a little bit. And the other main ingredient is some form of milk. Or you can use oat milk, anything plant-based, cashew milk, nut milk. They all work very well. I'm using oat milk right now. And I'm going to mix that all in this jar. And all the rest is just seasonings. Simple, simple, simple. And the longer it sits, the more flavor comes out. So the seasonings are, let me see this insane spice collection over here. Look at all these rows and rows. And then I have my hibiscus kombucha over here. One is made with black tea and one is made with green tea. And that's probably about ready. I don't know if you can see that there's some little bubbles. It's getting a little bit carbonated, so it's ready to be bottled and put in the fridge. Anyway, I kind of have a thing. Some people collect shoes. I seem to collect spices. And they're all different. I think I only have like 2 repeats, things I'm about to run out of. But I have to have all the basics, and then I have a few blends, not too many. But for this recipe, there's quite a few nice things in here. I'm going to use parsley. I have fresh parsley as well, but the dried parsley works very well because all the other herbs are dry, and it just adds to the dressing. When it sits for a while, the dried herbs really release all of that goodness. So it's going to be parsley. Yeah, I use this flat leaf parsley. Chives. I have a few chives growing outside, but there's not enough yet to harvest some more. It's not growing as well or as fast as I would like, but chives, dill. So this is dill weed, not the seeds, but dill weed. And oops, I use quite a bit of onion powder as well. So I'm almost out of this one, but I have another one waiting. And finally, some garlic powder. And that's it. I don't add salt or pepper. You can if you like. The original recipe that I found also had paprika. I didn't care for it when I used the paprika, so I leave that out. And that's it. And just depending on how thick or thin you want it. If you want it as a dip, which it's really good as a dip, you can keep it all thicker, so add just a little bit of the milk and then a little bit of the apple cider vinegar. It's not very much of that anyway. And then if you let it sit for a little bit, it does thicken up somewhat. And you can also add flaxseed or flaxseed meal or chia or anything like that. That doesn't really add a flavor, but it just will help thicken it as well. All right, here we go. I'm going to do about 2 cups. One more. Blub. Okay. I find it easy just to make it right in the jar, because then you can just put the cap on and mix it. And I'm going to add the apple cider vinegar. And I found for my taste, I like about 1 to 2 tablespoons. No, let's see. Well, let's see. Maybe it's just about 1 tablespoon. Yeah. Start with 1 tablespoon and see how you like it. I usually add a little bit extra. And then some milk. I'm just going to add a little bit to begin with, like 1/4 cup, and we'll see how thin it is. Now for all the seasonings. So here comes the chives. I just take the top off. It has the shaker, but I'm going to use a lot, so just going to pour it in. So I use about 2 teaspoons. There's 1. There's 2. And the same with the parsley. One, 2. And the dill. The dill I use a little bit less. Probably, maybe 1 tablespoon. So put it on my hand to show you. Because it doesn't come out very fast with this. Oops. This top. Okay, can you see that? It's about a tablespoon. Just adds a little bit of a tang to the flavor. Okay, and then onion powder. I don't like to use onion salt because then it's too salty. Okay. This one's stuck, so I'm going to have to take it apart later and scrape that part out. So I'm going to get the new one. Let's see if I took this off already. I think I've used it already. Yeah. Okay. So this pours very, very quickly, so I'm going to use the little holes. So teaspoons. And the same with the garlic. Okay. So, get the top of this jar. And I'm not going to worry about the inside of this. It's kind of messy, but it's going to get more messy in a minute. There should be a lot of flecks through the whole thing from all the herbs. And then, as it absorbs some of the liquid from the milk and the apple cider vinegar, it just gets more and more flavor. More and more flavor. Okay, I'm going to open the top a little bit. Let the air help push it back down. Okay. It's looking pretty thick. Let's see. Spoon. Okay, see. Not completely mixed yet, still blobs, but you see it's kind of thick. Blub, blub, blub. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit more milk. That makes it easier to mix too. Adding another 1/4 of a cup and put the lid back on. And we'll check that again. Clean up a little bit here. Okay, let's try it again. Wipe off the spoon. You can see. Okay, looks perfect. Okay, so it's still gonna thicken up a bit in the refrigerator. Ah, yeah, good stuff. I'm gonna give it a little taste. Oh, yeah. That's a nice balance. It's a little bit tart, so if you like yours a little bit more creamy, you put a little bit less apple cider vinegar. Okay. And I do keep it a little bit thin, so it's very pourable, because that way I don't use quite as much. It is mayonnaise after all, but it's pretty healthy, I think. I mean, you can just drizzle it on your salad and it really pops with flavor. Okay, so this is going to go into the refrigerator for a little bit. I'm going to clean this place up a little bit and bring out all the ingredients for the salad. I'm going to make a nice salad. I have I have some baby spinach and I think arugula or rocket in the refrigerator. But outside I have baby greens. I have a couple different kinds of baby greens, and I have a little bit of beet greens as well, and a little bit of fresh parsley. So I'm going to harvest a little bit of veggies and bring those in. And then I have some very nice little tomatoes, cucumber, and avocado from the market. We'll see what else. We'll put some nice stuff. Oh, and I just finished making this. Let's see. This is a type of, I guess you could say it's a vegan Parmesan cheese substitute. But not really, because usually you make it with cashews. You do raw, unsalted cashews and nutritional yeast. So I always have a lot of nutritional yeast in the house, and a little bit of garlic powder, and you rev it up and you make it into this little, like a crumble, and it sticks together because of the oil in the cashews. But I don't have any cashews right now, so I actually made it with walnut and sesame seeds. Look at that. It came out pretty good. So I only used walnuts and just maybe like a cup of walnuts and about 3 or 4 tablespoons of sesame seeds, and nutritional yeast about 1/4 cup, almost 1/2 cup. And then I just spun it up, and yeah, it's got a nice nuttiness, and it's also got a great texture. Yeah, it's just like a grated cheese. It's a little bit salty and quite delicious. So I may sprinkle that on top too. I like to use nuts and seeds when I can, because that's a good part of the fat in your diet, I think. Well, for me anyway. Okay, so that's it for now. I'll be back with some greens and some other veg, and we'll do a little mise en place, and then we'll put it all together, plate it out, and we'll take some of the dressing and put it into a nicer container and just drizzle it all over the salad. Okay? Alrighty. Pretty easy today, but I'm trying to just do a few easy projects for videos so that I don't feel too overwhelmed. Alrighty, I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, the sun has gone pretty low. It's about to set. It's the golden hour, just finishing. I had to go outside for a little bit, and now I'm ready to put this salad together. And we're going to use some of this tofu cutlet. This one is spicy garlic. It's marinated and pre-cooked. So I'm just going to cut it into small cubes and add it to the salad. It's kind of cold, but that's just fine for a hot day. And so that's plenty of protein if anybody's worried about protein, because, you know, with all the greens and the other vegetables, you do get protein, and I get some good fat with the avocado. Look at these cute little tomatoes, little cocktail tomatoes, and some bell pepper, some sweet yellow pepper for crunchy. Got a teeny tiny little bit of chive from the garden. I already picked most of it. And also from the garden, a little wee bunch of beet greens. Don't want to take too many until the beets are ready. And some spinach. And some butter crunch lettuce. nicely. I think that's pretty good here. And then from the refrigerator, I have a package of baby spinach. And my favorite, arugula. Or rocket, as they say. I don't know where arugula came from, but I like that word, arugula, because it adds a little bit of bitterness to the salad, and that's very good for digestion. So it's good to have a little bit of bitter and a little bit of acidity and some crunch. I have cucumber as well, and some yummy protein, and a few criminy mushrooms, just raw mushrooms to add another texture. And then I have our beautiful ranch dressing, which is just at the perfect stage. It's a little bit thick, but not too thick. Very creamy, very oniony, herby, delicious. And if you choose, it's nice sometimes to have a little extra crunch of some croutons. And like these are lightly seasoned croutons. Or wonton strips are also good if you're making more of an Asian style salad. Anyway, my idea of making this one is just to remind you of how many amazing things you can put together. Because if you're like me, I grew up with salads mostly as a side, very rarely as a meal, but it was always the same things: iceberg lettuce, cucumbers, tomatoes. That's about it. You know, it wasn't very fancy, no homemade dressings. So, you know, I kind of got stuck in that routine. But living in California, well, almost anywhere now, you can have access to so many beautiful vegetables. So why not add a lot of color? Especially, I love adding color. And I was going to use some carrots as well. I was going to grate some carrot and shred some purple cabbage. But, I mean, I felt like a big salad. I mean, really, I felt like a big salad. Make a note below if you know my reference on that one. I don't intend to fill this entire bowl, but I need to have space to layer and then mix. And I like the glass because you can see into it. All the pretty vegetables. Okay, so let's get to this. I feel a rebellion starting to brew with the cats. I try to feed them with the sun, so they're not allowed to bother me until the sun is up in the morning. And they don't ask for food until the sun goes down. But right about this time, they start getting fidgety. They'll start picking fights with each other and, you know, try to get my attention. So this is nice because it's triple washed, nice and dry, and I can just layer the bottom. These are pretty small leaves, so I'm not going to cut them, but I will cut up the spinach and the rest of the greens. That's good. Yum, 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 yum. I've been known to eat all of the greens while I was cooking dinner and not ever finish making the salad. I think raw veggies, I just have a craving for them sometimes. here's the spinach. Little bigger pieces, so I'm going to cut it up to make it more manageable. I'm going to cut these babies too. I didn't really get very much basil this year, but it's still growing, so I may start cutting off some of it, even though it's small. I just like any kind of fresh herb to top the salad with. Just brings out such a nice little pop of flavor. I love these stems. Purple. Okay. These little stems are so soft and young that I'm going to eat every bit of it. Other than some cherry tomatoes, this is about the only food I've gotten from the garden so far, but we're just now into this really nice growth spurt of kind of predictable, normal heat and not so much wind, although today, oh my god, it was brutal, but now it's cool again, so I don't know what's worse. Look at these beautiful tomatoes. They're sweet. So I think I'm just going to make little wedges because I like the way they hold the dressing. Oh my gosh. It's cat parkour in here right now. There they go. The two boys chasing each other. Thinking that I'll stop what I'm doing and feed them. But I'm not going to. And the troublemaker of the bunch is Mr. Biscuit, who's the sickly one. So if you ever think that I should be doing something for him, I'll tell you what, this is who he is. And he's just fine. Okay, next, avocado. So this is how I do my avocados. I think I've shown you before. I know lots of people think I peel them, but I don't. I just twist it, and then I make scores. I'm going to do little cubes and scoop it out with a spoon. Or sometimes, if I'm fancy, I'll just make long slices and take it out and flip it over and just kind of fan them out so it looks pretty. I should have done that for you because you're company after all. But since I'm the one that's going to eat it, it doesn't matter to me. Can you hear that, cat? He goes outside in the little cat kennel and just meows and meows and meows. It's like he's calling the neighborhood cats. Come and play. Little chives. A little parsley would be nice. Okay, I think that's enough avocado. I'm going to do a little cucumber. And unless the skin is very hard or dry or old, I leave the skin on. Growing up, we were always taught that it helps your digestion as well. And some people say that cucumbers make them burp. But if you eat the skin, it doesn't. It belongs together. So I'm making it kind of thin. There we go. Oh, I love the smell of cucumbers. I have cucumber plants out there. And there are a few little teeny tiny ones on the ends of the flowers. So I may have some cukes coming. I sure hope so. Okay. And Brussels sprouts and okra. It's the first time growing that. And what else have I got? Maybe some zucchini. I don't know. It looks like I may not have two plants that are doing well that can cross-pollinate, but I've seen bumblebees going in the flowers, so fingers crossed. I'll do this. What else? I have a lot of different types of tomatoes, and I planted way too many in the bags, but considering how horrible the wind and the heat has been, they all kind of supported each other, and they're doing okay. Every one of them has flowers on it, and I've gotten a handful of cherry tomatoes, but the romas are coming in now, so I just have to just keep on keeping an eye on everything. I'm not super picky about the peppers, you know, the little bit of fiber in here. It doesn't bother me. I cut out the big pieces though. Okay. Cut these slices into thirds as bite sizes. Oh, how pretty. I love all the colors. Whoops. Okay, a few mushrooms and then the tofu. Okay, gotta make it look pretty. Oops, look at that. The label on there. I always do that. I don't know why I forget. Alright. Bring some of these tomatoes up so we get some balanced colors. Oh, how pretty. And sometimes I like to do like an easy mixed greens with sliced strawberries and then make like a vinaigrette, maybe raspberry vinaigrette or something like that. And some crunchy, I like the crunchy vegetables. All of these go back to the fridge. I'm going to do 4 mushrooms because they're a little bit small. The lion and the panther are pacing. Okay. I'm gonna slice these. These are nice, firm, criminy mushrooms. Feeding time at the zoo. Of course, I'm not going to be able to eat this until after I feed them, you know. And I have to go out and feed the horses too. Okay. Here's the mushrooms. Okay. And now for the messy tofu. I'm going to open this over the sink. Okay. So it's very, very firm. It's been kind of seared all the way around. It's got like a cooked layer. Alright, I'm just going to use a little less than half. nice and thick. And you can tell from the color the marinade is all the way through. Alright. I just like small little cubes. Kind of a meaty texture in the middle of your salad. Okay, how big are these? Okay, let's see. That's pretty good. Little sticks instead of cubes. Let's see. About that size. There we go. They look like little pieces of toast. Or maybe flan. But they add a nice little dimension, and some protein, and some good flavor. And I didn't have to marinate it, so it was super easy. Okay. And I don't think I'm going to have any croutons. I'll try and stay a little bit healthier. Okay, and I am going to put the dressing on, but first I'm going to add a little bit of this, which is organic kelp seasoning. They're granules, and it provides iodine in your diet, and it's like a natural salty flavor. So you can pour it out or shake it out. I'll show you. Okay. See? It's like almost like, it looks like almost tiny seeds, poppy seeds, or yeah, black pepper. Smaller than black pepper. So anyway, I'm gonna put it on the shaker and just do a quick little shake around. Okay, and then my favorite sort of wake up the vegetable seasoning is this 21 seasoning salute from Trader Joe's. Very, very good. It adds lots of flavor without adding sodium. Also, Mrs. Dash is pretty good too. Mrs. Dash? No, I guess it's just Dash. Didn't it used to be Mrs. Dash? Oh, I'm confused. Okay, well, it says Dash, and it's salt-free, and this is the original version, and it has a lot of different herbs and spices in here. It's a good combo. So, but this one's my favorite. I use this in a lot of my cooking videos, of course. But it's good. It's like little tiny pieces of vegetables and spices and herbs. Yeah, you can smell it like celery and very nice. And that's it. That's it, my friends. Oh wait, my nut topping. This one. I'm gonna transfer this into the jar. Keep it fresh. There it is. And if you want less of a walnut taste, because I'm just messing around with these proportions, you could do a little bit more sesame and less walnut. And you can add more nutritional yeast. Maybe I'll just put a little bit more. Nah. So I'm just going to grab a little bit. Sprinkle it all over. Nice. And then you can put sesame seeds, or seeds and nuts are a very good addition to your diet. Very good. Okay. I'm ready. Look how pretty. Pour some dressing. It's getting thicker. Okay. Beauty. There we go. Nice colors. Nice balance. Whew, that is a big salad. I only filled it halfway, but once I fluff it all up from underneath, oh boy. Alright, let's see. And the thing is, because it's kind of creamy and thick, you can sort of eat it in portions on the top if you want, and then just work your way down to the plain greens on the bottom. I like to do that sometimes. See, so if you get overwhelmed with too much dressing, there's some more greens underneath there that are dry. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. I'm so in the mood for a salad. Okay, I have to find some tofu, tomato, tofu. So let's see, what else? I can't get a mushroom. A little pepper, how about that? Come here, pepper. Pepper and cucumber. Oh my goodness. Holy moly. Oh no, there went my cucumber. Okay. And I have to stick one on there. Oh, open your mouth. Whoa. Alright. I'm gonna have to mute this one because I can tell I'm gonna make a mess. Here we go. Oh, wow. That's so good. Yeah, that's really yummy. Terrific. I think I'm going to even add a little bit more of the kelp for a little bit of salty. I'm a salt addict, I know. And there it is. All right. I'm going to go take care of my ruffians because now they know the sun's gone down and they're going to be very demanding. So, don't forget to be creative with your salads. Once you get started, it's super easy. It feels daunting sometimes because there's a lot of ingredients and the prep seems like it's complicated, but you can see how easy that was. And you can use anything you've got. Sometimes I'll put a bunch of greens and a few tomatoes, some herbs, and some canned black beans, even just to add a little texture. If I have a little leftover rice, I'll put rice in there sometimes. So don't be afraid of weird combinations. You can put hot food in with salad, and you can put fruit in with salad, and keep it interesting. Keep it fun for the hot weather when you don't feel like cooking. And even though today is a beautiful, well, cool evening, I should say. It's evening now. It's unbelievable. It's the first time I've had the fans off before 10 o'clock at night in weeks, like most of June and the first few weeks of July. So, yay! I'm gonna go take care of my critters and dive into this big salad. And I'll talk to you very soon, guys. Thanks for being here.